So yesterday we were briefly discussing about cancer chemotherapy, and I told you about some common adverse effects that occur with all chemotherapeutic drugs. What are those adverse effects? Can you list any few of them, or any of them? What are the common side effects that will occur with anti-cancer drugs? Categorized
Sir,
into
sir,
six big categories. Yeah.
bone marrow depression.
Okay, bone marrow depression is one. So what happens with bone marrow depression? Like what kind of effects do you see as a result of bone marrow depression?
Sir, anemia
Hmm.
occurs.
Anemia hota, or think of it this way: what is the function of bone marrow, and if that function is inhibited, what will happen? What is the normal function? See, whenever an adverse effect occurs, there is a normal function that is not happening, or there is a completely abnormal function that is happening. ये दो ही possibilities रहते हैं adverse effects में. There is something that is happening in excess, or there is something that is not happening at all, because of which you see certain effects. Those are adverse effects essentially because of the drug, undesirable effects. Now, whenever we talk about bone marrow depression, first think about what are the functions of bone marrow. Then, if you suppress the function of bone marrow, what will happen in the body? वैसा सोचो तो easy रहता.
Sir, low blood platelets.
So one is anemia, low platelets, okay, thrombocytopenia,
Leukopenia,
leukopenia, low WBCs, and
cytopenia, and
hmm, sometimes aplastic
aplastic
anemia भी
anemia.
हो सकता. Yes. Uh, Other than that, think a little more. What happens if leukopenia occurs and thrombocytopenia occurs? What will be the effect of leukopenia and thrombocytopenia in the body?
Aplastic anemia.
हाँ नहीं, aplastic anemia is occurring as a result of higher dose of chemotherapeutic drugs. Bone marrow depression से हो रहा. Imagine if there are no clots present in your body, or very few clotting agents present in your body. What will happen? Internally, something will happen if clots are not present. Acha, when you're
Bleeding,
bleeding, exactly.
bleeding, and higher susceptibility to infections.
Hmm. This is because of leukopenia. Okay. I hope you guys are able to connect the dots now. कैसा progress हो रहा है ये? Other ADRs will also be similar. दूसरे drugs के भी normal function है, उसको either inhibit कर रहा है या उसको excessive में कर रहा है. That is why you are getting adverse effects. Anyway, sometimes, very rarely, they can be completely new, unexplained. That happens sometimes. Okay. Other proliferating cells में क्या आता और क्या हो सकता? बता दो.
Stomatitis,
Hmm.
esophagitis,
What is stomatitis? It is not stomach inflammation. Find out and tell me what is stomatitis. इससे पहले बोला था एक बार. Not purely stomach inflammation. Find out and tell me what is stomatitis.
Inflammation
Esophagitis.
of the
Hmm. Hmm.
inflammation of the mouth.
Hmm.
swelling, and redness inside the mouth.
Hmm. Specifically, the mucous membrane inside the mouth. All right. Other than that, stomatitis, esophagitis, और क्या होता?
Pancreatitis.
Excuse me. Pang. Something will happen to their hair, no?
Alopecia. Sir.
Alopecia.
Patchy baldness. Okay. What about their fertility?
Infertile. Sir.
Completely infertile नहीं होते, but something related to that. Again, depends on how much amount of chemotherapy they are undergoing, but there will be a drop in fertility. Definitely, there'll be a drop, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that they'll become completely infertile. decrease spermatogenesis and amenorrhea that will occur with chemotherapeutic drugs. All right. Intermediate adverse effects.
nausea, vomiting,
vomiting.
Nausea, vomiting,
कैसा रहता? Severe रहता? Normal रहता?
common.
Severe रहता.
severe
Okay.
रहता.
So what can you do in order to avoid that?
Antiemetic drugs लेना sir before.
So half an hour, somewhere around half an hour before giving the chemotherapeutic agent, you should start giving granisetron or ondansetron. Generally, granisetron is given, especially for stronger chemotherapeutic agents. All right, nausea and vomiting. This is because of cytotoxicity. As cells are dying, they'll start releasing certain chemicals that will eventually cause severe nausea and vomiting. There'll be a lot of gastrointestinal distress as well. Okay, other than that, if a lot of tumor cells die, something was released inside your blood that can trigger gouty attacks.
Hyperuricemia.
Hyperuricemia. Okay. Other than that, there are two more effects that will occur because of chemotherapeutic agents.
Teratogenicity.
Teratogenicity.
Pulmonary fibrosis.
Yeah, pulmonary fibrosis can also occur.
Carcinogenicity.
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 Carcinogenicity. Yeah. Oh dear. What is pulmonary fibrosis? Now that you mention it, if you're mentioning it as a ADR, you should be able to explain it. What is pulmonary fibrosis? Acha, find out and tell me what is pulmonary fibrosis. It will happen with some certain drugs. All right. Yesterday we discussed about alkylating agents. What are the drugs that are included in alkylating agents?
Cyclophosphamide.
Mhm. And
Methaphyllin.
mephalan. Mephalan, not methaphalan.
Chlorambucil.
Chlorambucil, yes. Hmm. All right. ठीक है. 3 drugs. There's also ifosfamide and cisplatin. How do these work? What is the mechanism of action?
The drug enters into the body
Hmm.
and turns into high reactive derivatives, and the derivatives transfer alkyl group to various cells and binds with them.
Or what will happen if that CH3 or any alkyl group is binding to them? I mentioned alkyl specifically because it can be यहाँ पर methyl represent करो, it can be ethyl, propyl, whatever alkyl group it is. ठीक है, isopropyl, depending on different drugs.
Alkylates cell parts and cell organelles. sir.
Hmm.
This breaks DNA strand.
Okay.
Causes DNA strand.
As a result, what will happen because of both of this? If your cell organelles are damaged and DNA is damaged,
Metabolic reaction.
Metabolic reaction disturbs.
leading to cytotoxicity and ultimately death of the cell. All right, so we discussed up to this point, I think, yesterday. Now, if we talk a little bit more about cyclophosphamide, the active compound that you get from cyclophosphamide is called adophosphamide. Okay, the active metabolite that you get from cyclophosphamide, its name is aldophosphamide. Okay, this is the one that is going on alkylating cell organelle, specifically the tumor cells. You give cyclophosphamide orally. Now, cyclophosphamide later on will become, or you get another metabolite from this aldophosphamide called acrolein. Now, acrolein can cause cystitis, okay, bladder inflammation, which can be prevented if you are giving the patient mesna, or if you irrigate the bladder with acetylcysteine, okay, or you can also give, along with cyclophosphamide, you give the patient a lot of fluids, okay, increased amounts of fluids so as to avoid cystitis. Mesna and acetylcysteine, what they will do is they will inactivate this acrolein. Whenever you give cyclophosphamide, it is turning into aldophosphamide, and aldophosphamide is doing its function. That aldophosphamide later on, when it gets metabolized, it will turn into a different metabolite. That metabolite's name is acrolein. Acrolein has the possibility, or it can cause cystitis, urinary bladder inflammation. So to avoid that, you can give a lot of fluid with the drug. You can give mesna and you can give acetylcysteine. Both of these, acetylcysteine and mesna, they will inactivate this thing, the toxic metabolite. So there is mesna and acetylcysteine. ठीक है, दोनों भी दे सकते हैं आप. They will inactivate toxic metabolites of cyclophosphamide, not just acrolein, any other toxic metabolite that is formed through cyclophosphamide. Common adverse effects that will occur with cyclophosphamide include bone marrow depression, alopecia, vomiting, amenorrhea, stomatitis, and teratogenicity. ठीक है. Cyclophosphamide is generally used in lymphomas, leukemia. Sometimes it can also be used as an immunosuppressive drug. Contraindicated in pregnancy. Cyclophosphamide is contraindication इसका pregnancy, lactation. Most drugs which are contraindicated in pregnancy will be contraindicated in lactation. Most, not all. Some drugs are fine because they'll not cross the milk of the mother, but some drugs will. Most drugs will. Another contraindication is active infection. Because it is an immunosuppressive agent, if you give it in a patient who already has infection, it is like see, if someone has an active infection, they need their immunity. If you're giving cyclophosphamide in such patients, it will be completely contraindicated. You cannot suppress their immunity while expecting them to get better. Okay. It will also cause neutropenia and bladder toxicity. Plus bladder toxicity. Okay. Especially if you're not including it with mesna or fluids or acetylcysteine. All right. Now coming to the second class, that was the first class in chemotherapeutic drugs and alkylating agents. The next class is called antimetabolites. Now antimetabolites में तीन subclasses रहते. Antimetabolites itself will have three subclasses. So यहाँ से start करेंगे नहीं तो. We have folate antagonists, and then purine antagonists, pyrimidine analogs. All of these drugs, by one way or the other, they will stop DNA synthesis and they will stop multiplication. That is the function of antimetabolitic agents. Specifically, if we start off with folate antagonist, we have discussed one drug. We didn't discuss about it, but we came across one drug in folate antagonist in immunosuppressive agents, which was methotrexate. Methotrexate is used in cancer as well. So when you are discussing that, I told you we'll discuss methotrexate in this, right? So methotrexate क्या करता? It is essentially a inhibitor of DHFRase in your human body. So it will specifically target DHFRase of the human. Now इससे पहले when we are discussing sulfonamides and all of that, we came across drugs that are inhibiting DHFRase, but it was mainly targeting bacterial DHFRase. Methotrexate targets human DHFRase, because of which the toxicity is pretty much profound with uh, methotrexate. So what happens with it is, this fellow, you have dihydrofolate getting converted into tetrahydrofolate in your cells. Now tumor cells में भी रहता ही है, आपके normal cells में भी रहता ही है. This is getting converted into tetrahydrofolate. all right, through one enzyme named dihydrofolate reductase. All right, methotrexate essentially is an inhibitor of dihydrofolate reductase, DHFRase भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है, because of which tetrahydrofolate formation does not occur, protein synthesis is inhibited, and ultimately replication or multiplication of that cell stops. That is how methotrexate works. ठीक है, so this is specifically affecting human dihydrofolate reductase. You would ideally want it to only affect tumor cells, but it will also affect your normal cells, because of which the toxicity that occurs with methotrexate is also much more profound. You'll see methotrexate affects bone marrow, it will affect skin, it will affect GI mucosa, okay, and any other rapidly dividing cell. All of them are affected because of this. Now, one of the most profound toxic effects that you see is inhibition of folic acid, because folic acid essentially यहाँ पर dihydrofolate से tetrahydrofolate नहीं बन रहा. Ultimately what will happen is the patient will have decreased amount of folic acid in their blood. Okay, and for normal functioning of your human cells and your human body you need folic acid. So because here you are targeting cancer cells, you have no other option but inhibiting folinic acid this way. So what you can do with methotrexate is supplement with folinic acid. When you are giving methotrexate, make sure to definitely give folinic acid or folic acid supplements with methotrexate, so that those adverse effects decrease to a certain extent. They will not be completely suppressed, but at least one problem will be solved. They at least will not be deficient of folinic acid. See, यहाँ पर the problem is not folic acid. The problem is the cell dividing. The way you are using it is by inhibiting folic acid, which is stopping multiplication, but as a result you are also decreasing the formation of something very important in your body. So what you can do is just supplement it from outside, give folic acid from outside, even if it is not produced in your body, it is not being produced right now to its normal content or to its normal extent. You can give folic acid from outside to supplement that deficit. All right. Adverse effects commonly that occur with methotrexate will be nausea, vomiting, very very common with methotrexate, quite severe as well. Mouth ulcers will occur, mouth sores will occur, headaches are pretty common with methotrexate. All right, it has immunosuppressant effect. It also has anti-inflammatory effect. You can use it in choriocarcinoma, placental carcinoma. You can. It is essentially a trophoblastic cancer. Usually occurs in placenta. So choriocarcinoma, acute leukemias, breast cancers, सॉफ्ट टिश्यू सार्कोमा, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, ये पूरा में methotrexate बहुत अच्छा काम करता. Okay, so that is about methotrexate. If you want me to repeat anything or you need to understand anything, please feel free to ask. You can stop me at any time. Okay, you can put it in the chat as well. All right, now coming to purine antagonists. Purine antagonist में 3-4 drugs आते हैं. We have azathioprine. These are all mercaptopurine, 6-mercaptopurine derivatives. The original drug was 6-mercaptopurine. 6-mercaptopurine. वहां से azathioprine बना, then thioguanine बना, fludarabine बना. All of them are derivatives of 6-mercaptopurine. Thioguanine and fludarabine. See, as I told you, these are drugs that are coming in a single class. These are all part of subclasses. That is why the number of drugs will increase quite a lot. एक subclass में एक भी याद रखे तो बस है. So we'll discuss. All of them will have the same mechanism of action. We discuss 6-MP, 6-mercaptopurine. इसको 6-MP बोल के भी लिखते हैं. These drugs will enter inside the cell. Essentially, what 6-mercaptopurine will do is, let us suppose this is the cell. Okay, purine analogs or this fellow enter into the cell. It will turn into an active metabolite inside the cell. Not exactly a prodrug, but it turns into an active metabolite inside the cell. That active metabolite gets incorporated into DNA. Into DNA. and as a result, it will do two functions. First thing it will do is it will break the DNA strand. Secondly, it will decrease new DNA synthesis. Okay, both of which will lead to what will happen if DNA synthesis is being decreased and DNA strand is being broken? Decrease in protein synthesis. Ultimately, if protein synthesis is being decreased to a certain extent, that cell will not be able to function properly, leading to decrease in the function of the cell and ultimately death of the cell as well. So 6-mercaptopurine or any purine analogs, all of them will work the same way. They will enter inside the cell, they will turn into an active metabolite that gets incorporated into the DNA of that human, or into the DNA of the cell itself where it is invading. Inside the cell, it will break the DNA strand and it will decrease DNA synthesis, both of which will lead to decrease in protein synthesis, ultimately leading to decrease in the functions of the cell as well as death of the cell sometimes. That is the mechanism of action of 6-mercaptopurine. You can use 6-MP in acute leukemia, choriocarcinoma, solid tumors में use करते हैं generally इसको. Most common adverse effects that occur with 6-MP: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, rashes. Once again, I'll write it down here. ADR of 6-MP: nausea, vomiting, rashes, joint pain, arthralgia. Some patients have anemia, liver inflammation. Might not be hepatomegaly as such, but there will be a little bit of inflammation, fatigue. Okay. And some patients will have diarrhea as well. Okay. One important thing about 6-mercaptopurine is that 6-mercaptopurine is metabolized by one enzyme called xanthine oxidase. Metabolized by xanthine oxidase. Now, xanthine oxidase is responsible for production of is taking part in the reaction where uric acid is being produced. यहाँ पर problem कब आता? Let us suppose the patient has gout and you are using 6-mercaptopurine or any of these analogs with them, especially 6-mercaptopurine. And let us suppose you give gout along with you give allopurinol along with this. अब allopurinol आप दे रहे because the patient has gout. Okay. Let us suppose you have already started giving allopurinol to the patient or you are about to give allopurinol to the patient. Let us suppose you want to introduce 6-MP or you have already introduced 6-MP and you want to introduce allopurinol. Essentially, you want to combine both of these drugs. The problem is that 6-mercaptopurine relies on xanthine oxidase to get metabolized. I'll repeat once again. 6-mercaptopurine relies on xanthine oxidase to get metabolized. Allopurinol is an inhibitor of xanthine oxidase. मतलब क्या होता है, ये एंजाइम को इनहिबिट करे xanthine oxidase, इसका टोटल ड्यूरेशन ऑफ एक्शन बढ़ जाता. It will stay inside your body for a longer period of time, giving you prolonged action and giving you prolonged toxicity as well. All right. Once again, let us suppose someone has gout or they are about to develop gout and they either had cancer wherein you are giving 6-mercaptopurine or they have developed cancer where you want to give 6-mercaptopurine. In any of these cases, let us suppose you want to combine 6-mercaptopurine and allopurinol. Allopurinol is a drug that is given for gout. Okay, if the patient has gouty attacks or gout as such. That drug, allopurinol, its function is to decrease uric acid levels in your body. It does so by inhibiting xanthine oxidase. Xanthine oxidase is responsible for several functions. One function is the production of uric acid. Okay? Another function xanthine oxidase does is it will metabolize 6-mercaptopurine. Now, when you give allopurinol with 6-mercaptopurine, Because allopurinol is an inhibitor of xanthine oxidase, 6-mercaptopurine will not get metabolized at a normal pace. The rate of metabolism of 6-mercaptopurine decreases significantly, meaning 6-mercaptopurine will stay in your body for that much longer. Okay, if it is not getting metabolized, it is not getting excreted, meaning it will stay inside your body for a longer period of time, creating prolonged effect, one, and giving you higher toxicity as well. Okay, higher chance of these adverse effects becoming more severe or more adverse effects appearing in the same patient. Okay, so the general advice is reduce the dose of 6-mercaptopurine in a patient who is already on allopurinol. Better to avoid both of their combination, but you have to give then decrease the dose of 6-mercaptopurine. Okay, that is one contraindication, you can say, not exactly contraindication, but at least nursing implication, let us suppose. Okay, something that you have to keep in mind. Then finally, coming to pyrimidine analogs, now they will do the same thing, pretty much the same mechanism of action. The active compound that enters into your body, it will resemble natural nucleotides. They will very much look like cytosine, thymine, and uracil. That is why they are called pyrimidine analogs. They are taken up by DNA and they will inhibit DNA synthesis. That is the mechanism of action. Pyrimidine analogs are. Ultimately, they are getting incorporated into the DNA and they are inhibiting DNA synthesis. Ultimately, your cell will not be able to divide. That is the gist of it. Pyrimidine analogs may, the primary drug is 5-fluorouracil. Pyrimidine analogs. There are two, three drugs. There is 5-fluorouracil. इसके अलावा आता सिटाराबिन, there is gemcitabine, okay, floxuridine, इतने बस है. Try to memorize any one of them, that is enough. 5-fluorouracil is specifically used in carcinoma of stomach, carcinoma of colon, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, वो पूरे में 5-fluorouracil बहुत अच्छा यूज करते हैं. रेक्टल कैंसर हो रहा तो उसमें भी यूज कर सकते हैं आप. Now coming to the next class of drugs, we have natural products. Now you don't have a lot of description at your level with respect to natural products because they themselves will have 5 subclasses under them. So just like these what do you call anti-metabolite agents में 3 subclasses थे, purine analogs, pyrimidine analogs, and folate antagonists. Natural products will have 5 different subclasses under them. So those subclasses include, first of all, antibiotics. There is epipodophylotoxins. Camptothecins. Okay, इसको topoisomerase 1 inhibitors भी बोलते हैं. Topoisomerase 1 inhibitors. Then taxanes, and finally vinca alkaloids. Okay, these are the 5 subclasses. Now antibiotics में, if we start off with antibiotics, you have actinomycin D, bleomycin, daunorubicin, doxorubicin. ये चारों बहुत commonly use होते हैं, especially dono and doxorubicin. Even though toxicity is high, all of them in one way or the other will inhibit DNA synthesis. Specifically actinomycin D. तो antibiotics में आते हैं आपके actinomycin D. There is daunorubicin, doxorubicin, and bleomycin. ये पूरे एंटीबायोटिक्स में आते हैं. One second. Right. Actinomycin D inhibits DNA dependent RNA synthesis. Inhibits DNA dependent RNA synthesis. Now DNA dependent RNA synthesis, यहाँ पर the RNA that is being synthesized or which is being inhibited essentially is your mRNA, tRNA, rRNA, which is produced by DNA. All of them will not be produced, meaning protein synthesis is not occurring, cell is not able to proliferate. That is the mechanism of action of actinomycin D. If it is able to inhibit RNA synthesis, which is dependent on DNA, your mRNA is not formed, tRNA is not formed, and rRNA is not formed. As a result, protein synthesis not occurs and cell will not be able to proliferate anymore. Okay? This is one of the most potent anti-neoplastic drugs out there. One of the best neoplastic drugs actually. It is used in a lot of cancers. You can use it in Wilms tumor. A Wilms tumor is a type of nephroblastoma. It will occur in children. Kidney cancer in children. Rhabdomyosarcoma में use कर सकते हैं आप. Skeletal muscle cancer. You can use it in Wilms tumor. Wilms tumor is a nephroblastoma, kidney cancer, specifically in children. It will not occur in adults as much. Rhabdomyosarcoma. There is choriocarcinoma. Sometimes some soft tissue carcinoma, sarcomas में भी use करती है. ठीक है. So that is about the actinomycin D. We'll discuss a little bit more about it tomorrow. Time is about to end. Discuss the rest